Okay, we've got this through here. It's a pretty tight hole. And you see how we cut that can? That way the fire is going to stay in this tube. It gives a little space before the bottom of this can, plus the insulation that will be around it, because that does sit on the bottom, because we don't want the bottom to get hot. See how I cut that? Maybe I can turn it so you can see. See that? And I cut that with a heavy duty pair of scissors. It's a pretty lightweight tin. There is a pattern on the bottom of the can. If you look down in here, you can kind of center it. What I'll do is I could have made it so the hole is up a little higher. That way I can put some insulation on the bottom, down underneath this. You can always tap it and stuff. But you get the idea. And then when we're all done, we'll pop the lid on. The lid will be going, this lip will be going inside the center and be going outside the outside one. That's pretty simple. I'll pull it apart here so you can see how that's shaped. I just put a Sharpie down there. I shoved the can all the way to the other wall. And you can see where I took the corners off a little bit. I did a lot of that out here. I shoved it in there and kept looking at it. So I'm trying to keep the fire off the bottom. If I can have an air space between here, it's not going to get so hot on the bottom, because this will touch the bottom. And the small sticks that I'll be using, I think will be okay. I would like to have the good insulation to put around the outside. That way you could possibly almost pick this up with your bare hands and it won't be hot. But I'm going to go with the clay oil-dry kitty litter. I suppose I could dump some down in here too. I could put some underneath here. I may do that. There may be a small amount down in there. It's going to get ashes in it as it burns. So I might as well start out with something more insulating down there. So I think I'll do that. I'll put some of that insulation underneath here. It's not real easy to find this can, but you can always use a different can. This just turned out well because I like how that lid worked. I chopped that lid apart. I got to go through the hole. It's going to snap together. No rivets. If I decide to take it apart and put the better insulation in it, I can. I just don't want to use fiberglass insulation. I don't know if anybody's done that. I'm going to go with something more natural. This person could put some kind of, trying to think, some kind of concrete or plaster or something in there that's heat resistant. If there's any products out there where you could pour down in there. I've got my radio on there. There's a little bit of skip conditions. I'm just bored on a Sunday afternoon. We had this the other day. We kept looking at it. We thought about making some kind of little miniature barrel stove. I may make one of those someday. Little barrel stove with a pipe coming off the side. And then you can put your coffee cup on top. Make a little door on it. But I want something heavier than this if I make one. If I make a miniature barrel stove, it'll probably be out of actual steel pipe. And a lot of exhaust pipes aluminized now, so I'd have no use working with that. It's hard to braze, it's hard to do anything with. The reason people weld on exhaust pipe, because you use the MIG welder and stuff, it will burn it off. I have talked to a few people who weld that exhaust pipe and they will grind aluminum coating off. They'll grind it off a small amount. But probably find a big piece of pipe. Another thing for pipe and stuff, I might as well throw it in here while I'm yakking. Drive shafts. Here I thought to make a pipe for my stove, like my camping stove. Well, they want so much for exhaust pipe. Charge. So I don't even want to know. It's probably $50 for 8 10-foot sections. Drive shafts. If you go to junkyard, it's got a pile of drive shafts. An older junkyard that doesn't charge as much. Those are a good piece of pipe. They're not too thick. A drive shaft is thinner than what you think. You'd swear a drive shaft's only about the thickness of this, where that edge is rolled over. It's not a thick steel on a drive shaft like you think it is. That's why when you hit it, it tings how hollow it sounds. Stovepipe. for kit. And drive shafts out of trucks, if you've seen them out of semis, they're going to be bigger than that. So there's a little tip there I'm going to be hunting for. Some old drive shafts, just use the pipe off them. There you go. Figure next time you'll see it, I'll have it all together. I'll have the insulation in it. And we'll fire it up for a test run. So, I think I about covered it. So this will snap down inside of there. So we're off to put the insulation in it. In probably the next video or so, or clip in here, you will be seeing it in action. I need to put my little piece of tin in there to get the air to flow under it. It's hard to get started. Got various types of wood. A little bitty pine. This is maple. Maple burns really well. Don't overfill it. Had a lot of smoke because I had too much paper in it, I think. I may and may not have to put that piece of tin in there, but I think I will. That way you can slide big sticks in here like this on top of it, or like this. That way you're guaranteed to get air under it. Don't want to melt the camera. We'll let it burn here a while, then we'll get one more shot of it. Well, it looks promising. Had to get rid of the pine wood and add maple. Pine wood burns so sappy and black. But it looks promising. It was fun to do. I'll keep playing. I need to put that piece of tin there to get air into the wood. It's hard to keep going without it. Thanks for watching.